the movies expected to get some Golden Globe consideration is My Week with Marilyn, which is getting some considerable Oscar buzz as well.
Yeah, that's right. The film explores Marilyn Monroe's brief relationship with a young assistant in 1956 while she was making a movie. Joining us now is the director of My Week with Marilyn, Simon Curtis.
Good morning.
Simon, good morning. Colin Clark, this is. So he was the third assistant director on the film?
He was the third assistant director, and it was his first job.
Okay. And he struck up this extraordinary relationship with Marilyn Monroe. What brought you to this movie?
I read the memoirs that he wrote about this experience, and he sort of was a young man who got the golden ticket in his first job, not only to work on this film that starred Marilyn Monroe and Laurence Olivier, but during the making of the film had this lovely sort of charmed relationship with her during the making of it.
And then talk about a golden ticket, then went and turned it into these memoirs and really turned it into something. There's been so much talk, though, about the film and how it's... I mean, Harvey Weinstein was with us last week and was talking about one of the things that he loved is it was, sort of this like upbeat time in her life. In some ways, obviously there was a lot else going on. But you said you read the memoirs. What was it, though, in particular about this moment in time in this particular relationship that you really wanted to be a part of?
Well, I think it's every young man's fantasy that they spend a week with Marilyn Monroe.
The truth comes out.
I could identify with that, and I think that's right. I mean, obviously, Michelle Williams plays Marilyn, and I was so excited that she would play the part. And she finds that the private, complicated Marilyn, but also she's so brilliant at the fun and sexy Marilyn, and it's the song and dance Marilyn, and to see Michelle as Marilyn singing and dancing was really exciting.
Why did Marilyn Monroe want to work on this movie?
Well, I think she wanted to come to England to work with the Great Olivier. One of the things we learned about Marilyn is that she wanted to be taken seriously as an actress, and I think she came to England hoping that working with Olivier would give her great credibility.
And then he just came to regard her as a mess.
Well, I think they were talking different languages. A lot of the film was about the culture clash with America and England, two countries divided by a common language, if you like, and they were in different places in a sense. And I don't think, he supported Marilyn quite as well as he might.
What do you think? Do you think there is a changed interpretation for the audience of who Marilyn Monroe was after watching this particular moment in her life?
Well, as I say, she wanted to be taken seriously, and I hope the audience will take her seriously. I mean, it's so interesting for so many people. Marilyn is a very famous name and an even more famous face, and they aren't necessarily, a lot of young people, familiar with her performances. And I hope our film will encourage people to look at her brilliant work and encourage people to consider her more seriously.
You're dealing with a number of different men and their relationships with Marilyn in this movie. There's Colin Clark, there's Olivier, there's Arthur Miller.
Yeah.
Was Marilyn Monroe aware to the extent to which she was messing with so many minds?
I don't know. I mean, I think she obviously had a great power over men, and I think that was part of her technique, And I mean, what's interesting is that so many of the men in Marilyn's life were very famous, high-status, influential men. And this is a rare example of her showing an interest in anyone younger than her and less influential than her.
Michelle Williams, there's been so much said about, she's incredible in the movie. But what was it like to work with her? She just seems like she would be such a joy for a director to work with.
That's exactly right. She is a joy. And I was so lucky that she read the script and wanted to do it. And I met her and I just prayed she would want to do it because I couldn't imagine making the film without her.
It's a tough thing to take on, though, because, as you said, so many people have this vision of Marilyn Monroe and who she is. And so I would think one of the challenges for both you and Michelle Williams is not making this a caricature, not making it just, I'm putting myself in Marilyn's body, but, still being true to
Well, I think that's one of the reasons I was drawn to Michelle as an actress, because she'd never do a caricature, and she brings great complexity and is an incredibly skillful actress. But what's so wonderful is that, she not only hits the complicated, private Marilyn, but the sort of the fun and the sexy and the comedy of the part, actually.
That's great.
Simon Curtis, thank you for coming in. Good luck with the Golden Globe nominations, which are coming up momentarily.
Thank you so much.